Bonjour, mes amis. Je suis le Logique Canadien. Welcome back to NFL Week in Motherfucking Review, where I go and look at all the NFL games in the past week, and I fucking review them and give my honest opinions, as well as get some stats on the way because I'm just that fucking guy. So, Week 16, it has come, it has gone. Some upsets, some disappointments, some shockers, some whatevers. But I guess we could all agree that this week was very interesting to say the least. But before I get started, I want to say a couple things real quick. First of all, the charity fundraising event that I am doing, that will be January 7th of 2022 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time over on my Twitch channel, which is literally the same thing as my YouTube, but just no space and the C is lowercase. I'm serious. But there, I'll be playing with some friends. I'll be playing some games and just doing whatever just to raise some money for American Red Cross to help the victims of the Kentucky tornado outbreak. And which, again, like I said, it's for a good cause. So come out and, just join us for it. Because it's a really good cause and it does a lot of good for the community. I did this last year, but for Boston Children's Hospital. And we wound up raising just shy of $800, which is no laughing matter, which is still pretty fucking good. But we're doing it again this year, so hopefully you guys can come on out and donate. It'll be a weekend-long event with some of my friends streaming on various days throughout that weekend to, help raise money for this. The more publicity for this event, the better. I will leave details of how to do it and all that in the description. But also, the last thing, because we got to do it, Benchwarmer Brew. That's right, Benchwarmer Brew, Benchwarmer Brew, Benchwarmer Brew. I had a delight of drinking Benchwarmer Brew with my father on Christmas morning. It was awesome. These two ones right here are the lifesavers in terms of if you want good coffee. You want the stronger one or a lot of caffeine, this is your choice. If you like the dark roast option, this is your choice. Or if you're just like in the middle, the backup one is your choice, which I do not have, sadly. I will get it soon. But head on over to benchwarmerbrew.com and get your bags of coffee. Maybe get a mug, maybe get a t-shirt. Benchwarmer Brew, delectable coffee. Now on to week freaking fracking 16. Let's start with Thursday Night Football, the last Thursday Night Football game of the season. Sad. We got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Niners win here. They get a good amount of playoff push, I guess you want to call it. But as the Titans, if they win and Indy loses, they clinch the AFC South. The Titans actually looked pretty good in this game, but the Niners did too. This is a game where it was back and forth between both teams, but it was worth it. It was good football, good quality football, where both offense and defense were balanced enough to be considered a actually physical game. And I love that. I fucking love that shit. So we'll start here. Jimmy G, 322 passing yards, a touchdown, but unfortunately 2 picks. Wilson ran for 45 yards on the touchdown. Whereas my motherfucking boy, Deebo Samuel, 159 receiving yards on 9 receptions, which also does include a 56-yard reception, and I believe in the fourth quarter. That's how you know this is a good game when Deebo Samuel was good. As for the Tennessee Titans, Tannehill went for 209 passing yards and a tutty. McNichols with 31 rushing yards on the night. A.J. Brown as well going off 145 receiving yards on 11 receptions and a touchdown on their own. But despite it being back and forth, somebody had to win. And with the leg of fat Randy Bullock, the Titans escaped with the win. But seriously, go watch that game again if you haven't. That game is hella worth it. And both teams now look at San Fran 8-7, but their playoff hopes are still alive. The Titans, they just need to sit back and watch on Christmas Day, on Christmas night, to hope to God the Colts lose to the Cardinals. Before we get to that one, though, Browns, Packers, Lambeau Field, Christmas frickin' day. By the way, I hope you guys did enjoy that video on Christmas Day. It was like really early in the morning when I made that, and it's really early in the morning when I'm making this. So fuck it. But Browns, Packers, Lambeau Field. Again, this is another game that was like the Titans. I was like the Titans Niners. Both sides were balanced, but this one was a little more scoring. It was a little higher scoring than the last game, but nonetheless, it was still a hell of a game. To the dismay of every NFL fan everywhere. Well, except if you're the Browns, but that's just the Browns. Baker Mayfield, 222 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, but 4 picks. Jesus Christ. I'm in a fucking interception week, I swear. So you want a free sale on interceptions? Last call before Christmas. Interceptions. God. Nicholas Chubby ran for 126 yards and a touchdown. And Higgins went for 58 receiving yards on 5 receptions. Chubb also got 58 receiving yards, but only on 3 receptions. As for the Green Bay Packers, 202 passing yards and 3 touchdowns for Aaron Roddy Rodgers. Aaron Jones went for 66 rushing yards on the day. Devontae Adams, a big game for him, 114 receiving yards on 10 receptions and 2 touchdowns of his own. And with that, it was enough for the Packers to squeak out the win against Cleveland, 24-22. Green Bay now at 12-3. I mean, they clinched NFC North last week. But I hate what I do. I'm sorry. But I also forgot to mention in the last game, at the virtue of the San Francisco 49ers loss against Tennessee, we have another clinch. And it's the Dallas Cowboys. They clinched the playoff spot for the first time since 2018. Because God knows what happened the 2 years but after that. Well, last year wasn't their fault, but yeah, Packers win here. Now, Christmas night, Colts, Cardinals, inside of State Farm Stadium. That's Jack Jingles catch, I swear. This game looked good for one team and just looked horrible for the other. One team, well, both teams did try, but the other one just tried a little harder. What I mean by a little harder, I mean they actually tried with all their might. Boy, the little engine that really could. God, why the hell do I remember that? Carson Wentz, 225 passing yards and 2 touchdowns for him on the night. Jonathan Taylor with 108 rushing yards. Michael Pittman Jr., 82 receiving yards on 8 receptions. T.Y. Hilton only had 51 receiving yards on 4 receptions and a touchdown. But hey, he got a touchdown at least, so fair game. As for Kyler Murray, 245 passing yards on a touchdown. And he also ran for 74 yards, only on 4 carries. Whereas Edmonds carried the bulk of the rushing core that's, non-QB. 56 rushing yards on 16 carries and a touchdown. Edmonds also got 71 receiving yards on 8 receptions. Zach Ertz got 54 yards on 8 receptions. But again, the team had to win, and the Colts wound up winning this game 22-16, meaning that the motherfucking Titans do not clinch the AFC South this week. They're not dead yet. The Colts are very much alive, and if Tennessee slips at least once in the final 2 weeks, Indy could take over. God, what the fireworks fly in that one. And the game of which team is shittier, the Lions took on the Falcons. The game for the Falcons, I guess you could say, must win if they want to have some semblance of a playoff hope. Sorry. And this is a game for the Lions where they did not have Jared Goff. Rather, bring back motherfucking Tim Boyle, because Goff was dealing with some other shit. I don't know what the status was, so I'll have to look back at that after the recording. But Boyle, not bad. The combined effort of Boyle and Fox, who I have no idea who the hell that is, went for 25 for 35, a combined total of 109, actually 208 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Williams ran for 77 yards on 19 carries. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 91 receiving yards on nine receptions and a touchdown for him. I mean, the Lions are trying to be competitive. No, not really. No, they're just garbage. As for Matt Ryan, 215 passing yards on a touchdown. Davis ran for 28 rushing yards on the day. Patterson only ran for 14, but he still mustered a touchdown out of his ass. Kyle motherfucking Pitts, 6 receptions for 102 receiving yards, no touchdown, unfortunately. That touchdown would belong to Hayden Hurst, who did run in for a touchdown, who did go for a touchdown on 21 receiving yards for 2 receptions on the game. Sorry. I hate when that fucking happens. But again, a team needed to win here, and it was the Falcons. The Falcons win 20-16 over Detroit. Atlanta has some hopes that their playoffs still alive. I said some. Does not mean for certain. But they're on a hot seat now. They gotta be. Rams, Vikings. A game where the Rams needed to win in order to take over the NFC West for damn certain, because they knew if they lose, the Cardinals would just tie or take over. Well, it would be a tie either way. I mean, if they lost, yeah. Stafford threw probably his worst game yet as a Ram, in my honest opinion. 197 passing yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks on the night. Sonny Michel actually looked like a fucking true running back here. 131 rushing yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp also had a nice game, 109 receiving yards on 10 receptions. But as for the other side of the ball, look at the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins played one of his best games I think I've seen this season. 315 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Madison went for 41 rushing yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson went for 116 receiving yards on 8 receptions. The touchdown went to KJ Osborne. 5 receptions, 68 yards. He does get that touchdown. The Vikings came ever so close to beating LA, but they couldn't get it done. The Rams escaped Minneapolis with the win, 30-23. The Rams hold sole leadership of the NFC West, with the Cardinals just a game behind. That's going to be very interesting to see who takes that. And plus, there may be 3 teams going to the playoffs in that division, because remember, the 49ers are still alive. Jaguars, Jets in the game of why is this happening? But I will say, though, I did like the gesture Zach Wilson did for that one waitress by giving her 2 tickets to the game as a tip. So I guess I could say I love Zach Wilson, but I do not like the Jets other than Zach Wilson. Justify that how you will. But honestly, this may be Trevor Lawrence's best game as a fucking Jaguar. Because look at, after Urban Meyer's firing, they don't do anything. They lose to the fucking Texans. That's a good way to get your interim coaching career started. And what do? You play the Jets and you hope you can win. But let's check it out, shall we? Trevor Lawrence, 280 passing yards. No touchdowns, but no picks. So I guess that's a win. Ogunbowale, I really hope I'm saying that right. If not, I am deeply sorry. 57 rushing yards and a touchdown for him. Marvin Jones, 74 receiving yards on 8 receptions, no tutty there. Treadwell for 54, Austin for 68, O'Shaughnessy for 49. As for the New York Jets, Zach Wilson got 102 passing yards and a touchdown. Thankfully, no picks. And because that waitress was watching in the crowd, and she probably prayed to God, like, Lord, please do not let Zach Wilson throw an interception today. If it happens, I will be very sad. Carter ran for 118 rushing yards. Wilson ran for 91 and a touchdown. Not bad for him. Berrios went for 37 receiving yards on 5 receptions. And despite the shittiness on the air attack for the Jets, the ground game did the bulk of the work, and it paid off with the win over Jacksonville, 26-21. Jacksonville is still in the hot seat for the first pick again. And again, it is because of a team deciding that now they needed to start winning games. Why? Why must people hurt us? Giants, Eagles, and the NFC East bounce. The Giants were clinging on to their bare, like can we just get that close to the camera? Like, this is how fucking small their playoff hopes were. That's how small. Right fucking there. Whereas the Eagles, they actually still legitimately have a chance. Oh my god. And the combined effort of Mike Glennon and Jake from State Farm. They went for a combined 23 for 44. They threw for 118 yards total, a touchdown and 2 picks. Good job, guys. Mike Glennon, I can tell you right now, is a benchwarmer. Go to benchwarmerbrew.com. Saquon Barkley ran for 32 yards on 15 carries. And the returning Kadarius Toney went for 28 receiving yards on 4 receptions. Basically, the Giants could not muster shit. The only Giant that got a touchdown was Evan Ingram on 17 receiving yards on 4 receptions, but that's it. That's it. Now, let's take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts, 199 passing yards and 2 touchdown passes. Miles Sanders ran for 45 yards on 7 carries. Scott ran for 41 rushing yards on 12 carries and a touchdown for him. And Devontae Smith, 80 yards on 5 receptions and a touchdown. Watkins for 43 yards on 3 receptions. Goddard, 28 on 2. And I guess it was enough because with that, the Eagles beat the Giants 34-10. And with that, the New York Giants have officially been eliminated from the playoffs. Goodbye, Derpity Derp. Maybe after the NFL season's over, maybe I'll make a what went wrong for these teams. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments or just give the video a thumbs up, whichever. Bills, Patriots, and for the AFC East lead. Basically a rematch from literally 3 weeks ago because the NFL loves quick rematches. This was a shitty fucking game for the Pats. And let me say one here because I watched this game. Look at the offensive line has gotten a little better from last week, but not really. Because I must have heard what I said and thought, oh shit, maybe we do need to get our shit together. But other than that, this game was just dog water for the Pats. Their defense couldn't stop anything worse shit from Buffalo. And that resulted in them getting points. A bunch of them. 33 of them to be exact. How many did the Patriots manage to muster? 21. And yet there are Patriots fans that still think it's Mac Jones' fault. When in fact the offensive line couldn't fucking stop a Bills rush worth jack shit. Idiocy, folks. Fucking idiocy. Josh Allen, 30 for 47, 314 passing yards, and 3 touchdown passes. Fuck you. He also ran for 64 yards on 12 carries. Ian McKenzie went for 11 receptions, 125 receiving yards and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs got 7 receptions for 85 yards and a touchdown. And Dawson Knox, 2 receptions, 11 yards, and a touchdown for him. As for the Pats, it's Mac Jones trying his hardest, but he cannot get anything worth damn. 145 passing yards and 2 picks. Damian Harris had a hell of a game, though. 103 rushing yards on 18 carries and 3 touchdowns. All of them were from Damian Harris. Jacoby Myers went for 59 receiving yards on 6 receptions. Like I said, I don't fucking know. Bills beat the Pats here 33-21, and they take the lead in the AFC East, and they hold all the tiebreakers at this point. Unless the Patriots are Jacksonville next week, otherwise I'll be shitting bricks. Do fucking better, guys. Hell, your fucking defense was as lenient as that reporter asking Bill Belichick what his New Year's resolution was after the loss. I am not kidding. You can find it everywhere on social media. Oh my god. Bengals Ravens this time for the AFC North lead, as both teams really came out to play today. The Bengals came out and fucking went firestorm. The Ravens tried to do the same, but sorry. But I don't know. Joe Johnson, I think that's his name. I don't really care. It went for 304 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Not terrible for a third string QB that had to fill in for Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley. Freeman ran for 17 yards on 6 carries and a touchdown. Mark Andrews, though. Mark motherfucking Andrews. 8 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Rashad Bateman went for 26 receiving yards on 4 receptions and a touchdown on his own. I mean, the Ravens actually did a pretty decent game. But you want to talk a breakout game, this is it for Joe Burrow. Because holy shit. 525 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Higgins got 2 of them on 194 receiving yards. Jesus fucking Christ. Jamar Chase got 125 receiving yards as well. Tyler Boyd got 85 in a touchdown. Joe Mixon got 70 receiving yards and a touchdown. Uzmo got 36. Joe Mixon also ran for 65 rushing yards and a touchdown. Jesus Christ, the Bengals fucking ran roughshod over them. And the Bengals beat the Ravens here 41-21. The Bengals, at this point of the season, lead the AFC North over the fucking Ravens. Let that one be known to you guys. We are living on hell. Hell on earth is fucking freezing over. I swear to God, if the Bengals fucking clinch next week, I'm going to laugh at every fucking AFC North team in their face. But speaking of laughing in faces, Chargers, Texans. Chargers, what the fuck was this game? Look at, I'll just say the result right now. Texans beat you guys 41-29. First off, how the fuck do you let the Texans score 41 points on you? 2, how the fuck do you lose to the Texans? And 3, what the fuck happened this game? What the actual fuck? I mean, come on. You can't tell me. You cannot fucking tell me that you guys tried this game. You guys shit the bed against one of the worst teams in the league, with a quarterback dealing with some really serious shit. The quarterback whose neck is literally that of an uncircumcised penis, and you still can't get it done. Hell, Davis Mills is the epitome of a benchwarmer, but yet you still can't get it done. At least Justin Herbert's still good, 336 passing yards, a touchdown, but 2 picks. One of them went for a pick 6 at the end of the fucking game. What the fuck? Jackson ran for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns for his own. He also got 98 receiving yards. So good fucking hurrah. As for Uncut Penis Man, 254 passing yards and 2 touchdowns for him. Rex Burkhead ran for 149 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Conley went for 60 and a touchdown, 60 receiving yards. Collins went for 33 receiving yards and a touchdown. Okay, and this is a Texans team without Brandon Cooks because he was on the COVID list. I don't fucking understand football. I really don't. With shit like that, what is there to understand? I can tell you what, there isn't a fucking thing to understand. Buccaneers, Panthers. At least we could get away from that fucking awful game. So what we could call really the massacre of Charlotte. Because this game for the Panthers was god awful. And I'm not just saying it because he had the combined effort of Sam Darnold and Cam Newton. Yeah, Sam Darnold's back. Too bad they really don't have any receivers outside of DJ Moore. And too bad they can't get fucking anything because Christian McCaffrey's out for the rest of the season. I think like okay. I mean, if I'm the Panthers at this point, I would just lose your final 2 games and then just hope to God you could get Garrett Wilson in the draft. Speaking of which, Garrett Wilson declared for draft. He's one of the nation's best wideouts. If the Panthers can get him, they're probably going to be better. Maybe they can actually air the ball out more. Who knows? Well, I just said it, so but then again, I don't even know. Tom Brady, 232 passing yards and a touchdown. Vaughn ran for 70 yards on seven carries, and a touchdown for him as well. Ronald Jones, 65 yards on 20 carries and a touchdown. Antonio Brown, his return game, gets 10 receptions, 101 yards. And this is a team without Chris Godwin for the remainder of the season because of torn ACL, and Mike Evans, who was on the COVID list. He's got Scotty Miller, who didn't do anything. He's got Cameron Bright. I digress. But yeah. As for the Panthers, the combined effort of Darnold and Newton won 22 for 45, went for 251 passing yards, no touchdowns, and a pick, which was thrown by Newton. Newton also ran for 42 rushing yards. Darnold ran for 11. Steve Smith went for 86 receiving yards on the day on 3 receptions, 3 times. DJ Moore went 5 for 55. Anderson went 5 for 58. With that, the Buccaneers beat the Panthers 32-6. With that, we got a double clinch. With this win, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not only clinched the NFC South, but the Dallas Cowboys clinched the NFC East. So with that, you got a double whammy: Cowboys, NFC East, Buccaneers, NFC South. So, yeah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Now we gotta hear that shit. Bears, Seahawks, in a frozen Seattle stadium. And we don't have Justin Fields. They don't have Andy Dalton. So I think you know what it's time for. Dick Nick is back. And boy, did Big Dick Nick play some football. 250 passing yards and a touchdown. David Montgomery ran for 45 yards on 21 carries and a touchdown. Khalil Herbert ran for 21 yards on 2 carries and a touchdown. Montgomery also went for 61 receiving yards on 7 receptions. Mooney went for 57 receiving yards on 5 receptions. Jimmy Graham was the one that caught the touchdown. He went 2 receptions for 30 yards. But as for the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rashawn Penny, 135 rushing yards and a touchdown. Everett for 68 receiving yards on 4 receptions and a touchdown. Metcalf only for 41 on 2 receptions and a touchdown for him. Like it. You want to know something funny here? The Seahawks had the lead going into the final seconds. But you know what happened? Big Dick Nick got the game-winning decision. The Bears beat the Seahawks when the Seahawks had a 99.9% chance of winning the game. Fuck you. Broncos Raiders AFC West matchup here, and this is a game of who can be shittier. Because both teams kind of look like dog shit today. Both teams did. Let's be honest here. They both look like dog piss. Drew Lock went for 153 passing yards and nothing else. Javonte Williams only ran for 12 yards on 7 carries. That's it. He managed to get a touchdown, though. Jerry Jeudy, 3 receptions for 60 yards. Cortland Sutton, 33 yards for 4 receptions. And I know I said what I said. Deal with it. Derek Carr, 201 passing yards, a touchdown and a pick. Josh Jacobs had a nice game of 129 rushing yards on 27 carries. Barber ran for 22 yards on 5 carries and a touchdown. Foster Moreau had a nice game of 67 receiving yards and on 4 receptions. Hunter Renfrow only went 3 receptions for 40 yards, but he still got the touchdown now. And somehow that was enough for the Raiders to beat the Broncos here, 17-13. And the Raiders are now 8-7. Their playoff hopes are somewhat still alive. The Broncos are right now on the outside looking in. It's gonna be a very interesting week coming up. Steelers, Chiefs, and oh my God, what was this game? This is a game that the Steelers need to win to have some semblance of a playoff hope, but they shit the bed. The Chiefs, on the other hand, Jesus Christ, this game. Let's look at the combined effort here of Captain Fanfuck and Mason Rudolph. 28 for 43. A combined total of 194 passing yards, a touchdown and a pick. Najee Harris went for 93 rushing yards on 19 carries. Deontay Johnson went for 51 receiving yards on 6 receptions and a touchdown. But the Steelers really couldn't do jack shit in this game. Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, 258 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Damian Williams for 55 rushing yards on 11 carries. Clyde Edwards-Helaire went for 27 yards on 9 carries and a touchdown before leaving the game with a shoulder injury, which has since been confirmed not serious, and he should be back shortly. We don't know if he's going to miss one game. He may miss multiple. No, I think he's going to miss one game and come back for Week 18. That or the Chiefs shut him down for the remainder of the regular season so that way he can go play in the playoffs, which I think would be the better option here. As for Byron Pringle, 75 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. McCole Hardman went for 31 yards on the touchdown. Gore went for 61 receiving yards on 3 receptions. And that was enough for the Kansas City Chiefs to beat off the Pittsburgh Steelers 36-10. And with that win, the Chiefs clinched the AFC West. So in the AFC, we have the Chiefs clinching. This team leads, and this team leads. Whereas in the NFC, clinch. And then these guys are in the lead. As of right now. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys football team. God, what was this fucking game? If you remember last time these two teams played, Washington nearly came back and beat them. This time, the combined efforts of Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke, 15 for 32, about 188 passing yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Patterson ran 9 times for 33 yards, and Brown ran for 53 yards on 2 receptions, but Bates and Gibson getting the touchdowns receptions for the football team. As for the Cowboys, oh Jesus Christ, the combined effort of Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush, 30 for 42, 400 passing yards, 5 touchdown passes. Ezekiel Elliott ran in for a touchdown on 37 receptions, 37 rushing yards on 9 carries. Amari Cooper had a nice little game, 85 receiving yards with 7 receptions and a touchdown. Dallas Schultz went for 8 receptions, 82 yards and a touchdown. Michael Turner, I don't know how to say his name. Michael Turner, I don't know. 3 receptions, 82 yards and a touchdown for him. CeeDee Lamb was 66 and all, and et cetera, et cetera. What? With that, the Cowboys absolutely fucking shit on the fucking Washington football team, 56-14. Dallas is 11-4. They are the NFC East champs. They've already clinched it before the game happened. But hey, what you gonna do? Anyway, get to the Monday night shit show. Miami, New Orleans, the battle of who can host the most Super Bowls. Seriously. At this point, Miami's hosted 11 and New Orleans hosted 10. God. My Lord. But seriously, this game was shitty. This game was really shitty. But let's get it from this way. Tua Tagovailoa went for 198 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Johnson ran for 39 yards. Philip Lindsay went for 36, both on 13 carries each. Jalen Waddle, though, 10 receptions, 92 yards, and a touchdown for him. Oh, is this better than what the fucking Saints did? Enter Ian Book, who I guess likes to read books. And if you check out if you remember a few months ago, I uploaded a reading series. But after your own discretion, if you like listen to me read, which God, 135 passing yards and 2 picks. Kamara ran for 52 yards on 13 carries. Humphrey went for 70 receiving yards on 3 receptions. But they couldn't muster up anything because the Dolphins beat the Saints 20-3. The Dolphins are over 500. But that's hard to believe. But that is going to do it for week in review for week 16. Next week, we get to take a look at the penultimate week, week 17. But again, don't forget to check out benchwarmerbrew.com for delectable coffee. Stronger one is this one. Dark roast is this one. Or if you want the middle ground, backup one is for you. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in this week. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and join the Logical Army. Again, the charity event details will be in the description. Again, je suis l'énergie canadienne. Bonne nuit et au revoir.